Hello beautiful people, I share with you step by step easy process that you can use to make your bread at home so easy. Okay, so first thing that we need to know is the type of flour to use. If you're in Ghana, these are the two major flours that we have here. I know we have other brands and other types, but these are the popular ones. So we have the soft flour, and the soft flour we usually use that for pastries, for pie, and then we have the hard flour, and that is what we are going to use for this bread. Okay, so please take note of that. If you are outside Ghana or something, you can use bread flour or all-purpose flour. Okay, but this is what I'm using, and this is how I measure my flour. Okay, so in case you're going to use my measurements, this is how I measure my flour. I'm using 4 cups of this. Next thing I'll do is to prove my yeast. I'm using lukewarm water. I've added a tablespoon of sugar. You don't want your water to be too hot or too cold. Okay, so I added in a sachet of yeast, which is about 2 teaspoons. Give this a stir, and then I'll cover, set aside, and let it activate. Okay, so the next thing I'm adding is some nutmeg, which is an optional ingredient, but it makes your bread smells good. Some salt. I'm using brown sugar, but feel free to use white sugar. This is what I had, so that is what I'm using. I'm giving this a nice stir, and then I'm going to add in, I've melted some butter. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of that. You can use sunflower oil, olive oil. I think vegetable oil even works, okay, for that. Now my yeast has proved nicely, showing that my yeast is active and alive, and I like to add my water gradually. I'll be using again lukewarm water, because I want this to activate all the gluten in this bread to activate. If you remember when I was sharing the recipe on the pie, I was insisting cold water, cold, everything should be cold. Bread is like the opposite of it. You want your stuff to be very warm. It's a rainy day, so in case you are hearing some rain in the background, it is what is happening. So this is what makes my dough like very easy. I hit the dough on my surface or in the bowl a couple of times. This is to help activate the gluten, and this makes kneading the bread very easy. Hitting it on your surface, that trick was by accident. I was kneading my dough, I was tired, and I was hitting it. And I noticed that actually it's a thing that people do. Yeah, so if you're tired, you can let the dough rest for some 5 minutes, and that's what I did. I let this dough it rested for 5 minutes. I came back to it, and then I'm just kneading it, and I hit this again several times. Okay, so just have that tip at the back of your mind. It makes activating the gluten very easy. Okay, so when you need to a point where you feel like the dough is resisting you get it. Once you put your finger on it comes back out immediately, means that yes, we're on the right path. I have greased my pan with some butter. I'm spreading some flour in this pan, and then the dough, I have kept it in a warm place, to rise. The time your dough would take to rise really depends on where you keep it. So please keep it in a warm area. And then it also depends on the weather condition. If it is cold, it probably takes longer. So you want to put this in your oven or something, somewhere warm to rise. Okay. So as you can see, my dough has doubled in size nicely. And I'm just coming to shape it like the way I want it. And this is basically how we make bread: any shape, any size, any type. The differences are more the flavors you use, or the amount of sugar, or the butter. Okay, but basically once you know this step, you should be able to do all kinds and all type of bread you want. And you don't have to be too hard on yourself molding this, because eventually it's going to take the shape of your mold. Okay, so I'm covering this, kept this in a warm area for an hour, and I bake this under medium heat. I use gas, so I don't have any measures or something, so I'm making sure that the fire is medium, the heat was medium, and this baked for 25 to 30 minutes. I have my bread ready. This house is smelling absolutely good. And that is it. It's so easy. Let me know in the comment section if you have any question, and if you try this, let me know. So make sure that your water is warm. Make sure that when you are kneading it, you hit it a couple of times on your surface, makes it easier. Okay, and then under medium heat if you are using a gas stove like mine. So here we are. How good is this, guys? Our bread is looking so good and it's absolutely delicious. It's moist and soft. So I just want to demonstrate. So this is 3 days after baking this bread, and just look at it. So fresh. When you press it down, it just comes back up. Yeah, we got it right. Yeah, so why not fry some egg and then add to it? I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much always for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to have you here, and don't forget to like this video. So off topic, guys, there was this preacher man who came to our school when I was on campus some years ago. Wow, years ago. And then he said that, hey, it's Legon girls, pan only for a pan. I was that I want them. I know my fancy is not that good, but it was said that so it's bread and stew that they used to deceive Legon girls like that. That is basically pizza, and we all laughed about it. It's bread and stew. I pan on it for it. So once you know how to make a bread, you know how to make bread dough, you know how to make pizza dough, guys. Basically the same process. The only thing is like the sauce. Even the sauce, you have tomatoes, you have some oil in there, you have some onions, you have some ginger, you have some garlic. If you want pepper, you add some, like you make it your own, add in some ketchup to give it that sweetness, or some sugar to give it that sweetness. You put your meat on it, and then the cheese is just supposed to stick everything together. It makes it nicer though. See, I'm poor or a pan on it for a year, like, honestly. That is it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in another video. Please don't forget to smash that like button.